Situated in the Alentejo plain at the confluence of three major watersheds, Tejo, Sado, and Guadiana, an ancient crossing point of roads and trade routes of the peninsula, Évora acquired, since ancient times, great political and social importance. It has a historical center with more than 2,000 years of history, where we can see the marks of the Roman occupation and later Muslim. In the Middle Age, Évora gained a preeminent position in the Portuguese kingdom. Since 1986, the historic center was awarded with classification of national heritage. The Giraldo Square is the oldest square of Évora, and it was considered as a national monument in 1910. The floor of this square was made using the famous Portuguese pavement, greatly appreciated abroad. There are also characteristic arcades and a 16th century fountain, as well as the church of Saint Antão, dated from the 16th century. Here we can also find a tourist office point, different and typical shops, and all kinds of services and restaurants. Alentejo handicraft is the perfect gift to take home when visiting Évora. A handicraft piece is always a piece of tradition and mastery of its craftsman, the present or the ideal gift and memory of your visit to this World Heritage City. The construction of the famous cathedral in Évora took place in 1186. After several amendments, of which stand out two notable campaigns of the late Middle Age, we can appreciate the magnificence of the largest medieval cathedral in the country. A construction that reminds us of a church fortress with late changes in a Gothic style that gives it great monumentality. A majestic portal with a representation of the apostles as an example of Portuguese medieval art, the pinnacle in a Manueline style, the chapel, a masterpiece of neoclassical Johannine style, and the great lightning game or sculptural decoration attributed to Bellini are reasons more than enough for a long visit. The Roman Temple of Évora, known as the Temple of Diana, is one of the most important Roman monuments in Portugal. It is located at the highest point of the city, and it is what remains of an ancient Roman forum. Its construction took place between the 1st and the 3rd century AC, and it is supposed to honor the Emperor Augustus. We cannot forget that this is a relation with the Roman goddess of the hunt, Diana, reminding us of a legend created in the 17th century. The Roman Temple of Évora is surrounded by the cathedral, the court of the Inquisition, the church and convent of Loyos, the public library and the Museum of Évora. The Museum of Évora was created in 1915 after the implementation of Republic in the country and has its place in the former Palace of the Bishops, where it currently remains. It has about 20,000 pieces of art, with special attention to a 17th century collection of great diversity. The extinction of some religious orders contributed to enrich the assets with important painting, sculpture, and decorative art, including jewelry, ceramics, furniture, and textiles. Portas de Moura Fontaine is situated in the wide and known square Portas de Moura. As the name implies, it is a Renaissance fountain of Manueline style built in the year of 1556, attributed to the architect Diogo da Torralva. The Church of São Francisco is considered one of the most extraordinary churches of the Gothic Manueline style. It was built between 1480 and 1510 by the two masters in working the stone, Martim Lourenço and Pero de Trilho, decorated by the royal painters Francisco Henriques, Jorge Afonso, and Garcia Fernandes. It is closely linked to important historical events that happened during the period of overseas expansion of Portugal. Incorporated inside the Church of São Francisco, we can find the Chapel of Bones. It is one of the best-known monuments of the country. It was built in the 17th century by initiative of three monks who, following the spirit of the time, religious reform, according to the regulations of the Council of Trent, intended to pass the message about the transience of life. The Hermitage of São Brás, located outside the walls of the Rocio de São Brás, was built by King John II in the same place where there has been a temporary hospital to treat people with leprosy, built to treat patients affected by the plague that ravaged the country in 1479-1480. The unknown master of innovative monument used a Manueline style used widely in all the Alentejo region. This temple marks the introduction of the Gothic style in Évora. Outside the city, about 12 kilometers, in the parish of Nossa Senhora de Guadalupe, you can visit one of the most important megalithic monuments in Europe, dating from the Neolithic period during the 5th and 4th millennia before Christ. The cromlech of Almendras, in Alto das Pedras, is the largest collection group of structured menhirs in the Iberian Peninsula, consisted in 95 standing stones with different shapes and sizes, from small blocks roughly formed to other larger, rising 3 meters tall, cylindrical in shape, and with a phallic or stellar aspect. Évora, an ancient city of Alto Alentejo, has more than enough reasons for a long visit. Its history, its architecture, its people, its gastronomy, or its climate, among many other attractions, give us confidence to make you an invitation. Come and visit us.